Okay, so think about this for a second. What if an entire educational system was totally redesigned? I mean, from the ground up, not just to teach you stuff, but to actually turn you into an innovator. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today with what's called the SNS method.
And when I say they're ambitious, I'm in it. Their goal is, well, it's huge. They want to help create 1,000 AI startups in the next 10 years. Let that sink in. That's 100 new companies every single year. It's a pretty wild goal, right? But, it's not just about building startups. They've also got this playbook, this whole system, designed to get their students a very specific result, a starting salary of 10 lakhs per annum or more. We're talking about 1 million rupees a year, fresh out of college. That's a serious promise. So, the big question is, how on earth is this even possible? I mean, 1,000 startups, 10 LPA salaries. This isn't about just tweaking a few classes here and there. Nope, this is about completely rethinking the entire educational experience. So let's break down how their method actually works. Okay, so at its very core, this is a huge shift in philosophy. The old way, right? It's all about preparing students for a predictable, stable world. But let's be real, that world doesn't exist anymore, if it ever did. The SNS method says, hey, the world is chaotic, let's embrace that. They're all about building innovators for this world, the one we actually live in, and they call it excellent business. So what's the blueprint for all this? The master plan? The whole system, literally everything they do, is built on one single, really powerful idea: design thinking. Now listen, this isn't some dusty academic theory. Design thinking is a hands-on process. It all starts with one simple question: what do people actually need? So instead of building something cool and then trying to find someone to buy it, you flip that around. You start with a real human problem. It's all about building solutions for people with people. Okay, so that sounds great, right? But how do you take a big idea like design thinking and actually build it into the DNA of an entire college? Well, SNS does it with what they call their 5 pillars mission. This is the foundation of the whole thing. Yeah, think of these pillars like the load-bearing walls of a building. They make sure innovation isn't just some optional class or a little side project. No, it's woven into the fabric of everything. It's in your classes, your career development, your creative work, even in how you connect with industry and give back to the community. But, a strong foundation is one thing. You still need an operating system to make it all run. And for SNS, that OS, that guiding mindset, is their culture. They've boiled it down to a really simple framework, the 3 Ps. So, first up, you've got purpose. This is the why. It's about making sure that every single thing you work on isn't just to pass a test. It's about creating a real, meaningful impact. It's about solving problems that actually matter to someone. And that purpose is powered by the second P, process. This is the how you do it. So forget just sitting in a lecture hall. Here, you're learning by doing. It's all about teamwork. It's about using those design methods we talked about. It's active problem solving, not just passively soaking up information. And finally, the third P is people. This is so important. The whole system is set up to tear down the walls between students, professors, and real-world industry mentors. The idea is to get everyone in the same room working together to actually co-create brand new innovations. So that purpose, process, people culture directly builds what they call the 3C Competency Circle. And what's so interesting here is the balance. Yeah, technical skills are there, but they're just one piece of the puzzle. They put just as much weight on your attitude, we're talking curiosity, taking ownership, and on your logical and business skills. It's about the whole package. All right, so we've got the big ideas, the blueprint, the culture. But what does this actually feel like when you're a student there? What do you do all day? That brings us to the toolkit, the 7 key differentiators. This is where the theory gets real. These 7 things are the actual, tangible experiences that really set the SNS method apart. I mean, just look at this list. You've got industry pros teaching your classes, you're using the Harvard case study method, there are tons of industry and skilling clubs, hackathons, and get this, projects based on Y Combinator and unicorn startups. Let's zoom in on a couple of these. Okay, this one is a total game changer. Students aren't just making up projects for a grade. They are literally tackling real-world business challenges based on the playbooks of some of the most successful startups on the planet. I mean, Y Combinator, unicorn companies. It's like learning how to innovate by looking over the shoulder of the best in the business.
And this is just brilliant. It shows they're committed to using world-class, proven methods. I mean, why reinvent the wheel, right? They take something like the Harvard case study method, which is famous for a reason, but then they add their own twist. The people leading these case studies aren't just academics. They're experts who are actually working in that industry today.
So you take the 5 pillars, you add the 3P culture, you give students this amazing toolkit. What's the outcome? What kind of person walks out of this ecosystem at the end of it all? Well, it all leads to this. It's called the SPINE framework. And this isn't just some clever acronym. It's literally the model for the final product, a holistic, totally industry-ready innovator.
So what is SPINE? It stands for skill, personality, innovation, nurture, and entrepreneurship. It's like their final quality check. Does the graduate have the skills, the right personality, the innovative mindset? Are they nurtured and supported? And do they have that entrepreneurial fire to go out and actually build something? It covers all the bases.
You know, when you look at this whole complex system, the pillars, the culture, the tools, it all really boils down to one simple but incredibly powerful idea. At SNS, every single learner becomes an innovator. That's the promise. And really, that just leaves one final thought, doesn't it? If you're in an environment that's built from day one to give you the skills, the mindset, and all the support you need, what's the only question left to ask? Yeah, what problem are you going to solve first?